Hello and welcome to the Antiquarian Outlook for Week 4 of 2026, starting January 19th. I'm Spencer W. Stuart, Collections Advisor, author of Contemporary Issues and Rare Books and Manuscript Collecting, and host of the monthly webinar, Collecting Insights. For more details on my services, publications, and programs, follow the links below, along with links to the various auctions we'll talk about in this program. All right, on to last week's results. Tuesday, Bogota Auctions had antiquarian books, documents, and engravings. There were 173 lots offered, of which 164 sold, making for a 95% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 22, a catalog of the collection of Mr. Organo, a prominent merchant and antiquarian of the 19th century. Bidding started at 10,000 Colombian pesos, realizing 3.5 million Colombian pesos, the equivalent of $952. Next sale, Gonnelli Casa DAste had books, autographs, and manuscripts. There were 184 lots offered, of which 161 sold, making for an 87.5% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for Lot 1, a small volume containing notarial documents, from between 1382 to 1384. Bidding started at €180, realizing €1,260. A lot that exceeded expectation was 46. This 1912 copy of Aesop's Fables with Arthur Rackham illustrations. Bidding started at €30, realizing €529. Next sale, New England Book Auctions had fine books and ephemeral list. There were 209 lots offered, of which 205 sold, making for a 98% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for Lot 131, Washington Irving's A History of New York, published in 2 volumes in 1809. Bidding started at $100 US, realizing $1,000. Finishing off Tuesday, Rossini had posters, lithographs, and works on paper. There were 432 lots offered, of which 88 sold, making for a 20% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 162, an original lithograph by Juan Miró from 1971. Estimates were set at €2,400 to €2,800, realizing €2,400. A buy-in of note, Lot 202, again a Juan Miró lithograph, this time from 1975. Estimates were set at €2,200 to €2,500. On to Wednesday, Zahajko Auctions had sports, cards, and memorabilia. There were 341 lots offered, of which 337 sold, making for a 99% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for Lot 1, a 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente baseball card. Estimates were $5,000 to $6,000, realizing $6,000. A buy-in of note, Lot 303, a lobby card of Theda Bara from Salome, released in 1918. Estimates were set at $800 to $1,200. A lot that exceeded expectation was 153, an original Nassau photograph on Kodak paper. Estimates were set at $100 to $200, realizing $2,100. Still with Wednesday, Purcell Auctioneers had a book sale. There were 601 lots offered, of which 500 sold, making for an 83% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for Lot 278, a remnant of the flag of the Republican Red Cross dressing station, as well as a manuscript copy of the renowned revolutionary poem The Red Flag. Estimates were set at €400 to €800, realizing €3,400. A buy-in of note, Lot 277, Orion Press's 1984 edition of The Great Gatsby. Estimates were set at €1,800 to €2,200. On to Thursday, Bonhams Skinner had prints and photographs on online sale. There were 372 lots offered, of which 280 sold, making for a 75% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 163, Rembrandt's The Angel Departing from the Family of Tobias from 1641, in this case a second state. Estimates were set at $1,000 to $1,500, realizing just above $28,000. Buy-ins of note, Lot 350 through to 353. These were offered in a previous sale last year, and are portraits done by Alfred Stieglitz of the photographer, writer, editor, and art patron Dorothy Norman from the 1930s. In all cases, estimates were set at $12,000 to $18,000. Still with Thursday, Forum Auctions had an online sale, books and works on paper. There were 306 lots offered, of which 278 sold, making for a 91% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for Lot 78, a group of about 30 titles, including Collier's An Essay on the Art of Indigenous Tormenting from 1753, as well as Shaw's The History and Philosophy of Judaism from 1787. Estimates were set at £400 to £600, realizing £1,700. A buy-in of note, Lot 172, Corinthi's Everything is Different, 52 Sundays, published in 1929. Estimates were set at £600 to £800. Next sale, Antiquarian Auction had books and photographs. There were 267 lots offered, of which 112 sold, making for a 42% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 1, Harris's Portraits of the Game and Wild Animals of South Africa from 1840. Estimates were set at $6,000 to $7,000, realizing $5,000. Next sale, Leland Little Auctions had collectible books, maps, and documents. There were 74 lots offered, of which all of them sold. The highest price realized was $30.22. This limited edition folio connected to the work of Andrew Wythe, published in 1969. The winning bid was $3,700 US. Finishing off Thursday, PBA Galleries had rare and antiquarian books with illustrated and children's books and the Dr. Rutte collection of Oz. There were 431 lots offered, of which 299 sold, making for a 69% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for lot 343, Baum's The Army and Navy Alphabet from 1900 in 2 volumes. Estimates were set at $1,000 to $1,500, realizing just above $28,000. A buy-in of note, lot 235, Rothschild's The Ava Fauna of Luzon and the Neighboring Islands, with a complete history to date of the birds of the Hawaiian possessions, published between 1893 and 1900. Estimates were set at $20,000 to $30,000. A lot that exceeded expectation was 94, a 1655 copy of Marvell's The First Anniversary of the Government. This was Marvell's celebration of the first anniversary of Oliver Cromwell's rule. Estimates were set at $300 to $500, realizing $8,750. On to Friday, Christie's had We the People, America at $250. There were 44 lots offered, of which 42 sold, making for a 95% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for lot 214, Rufus King's copy of the second printed draft of the United States Constitution, consigned by the Society of Cincinnati in the state of New Hampshire. Estimates were set at $3 million to $5 million, realizing just above $7.3 million. A lot that exceeded expectation was 237, a graphite study of American Gothic by Grant Wood, done in 1930. Estimates were set at $70,000 to $100,000, realizing $584,200. For a hyperlinked list of next week's auctions we have an eye on, please get in touch with us directly. As always, the Antiquarian Outlook is totally independent. Its producers do not hold inventory, nor do they represent any consignments or acquisitions mentioned. In the news, space remains available for the February sessions of Collecting Insights at the emerging, expanding, and legacy levels. As always, registrants will receive a complimentary copy of contemporary issues in rare books and manuscript collecting. And if you have any questions about the content, please get in touch with us directly and we'll see which one suits you best. Well, that's been the week from here. What'd you think of last week's results? Make sure to put some comments below and we'll keep the conversation going. Remember, if you want to stay up to date, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on your notifications, and tell others about this program. Thanks again for tuning in. All for now. We'll see you next week.